young athletes face often don't get highlighted in game coverage. We look deeper into those policies in the latest in our ongoing series, Athletes at Risk.
High school sports have seemingly endless rules that cover everything from the size of the court to the size of the team. In Ohio, those bylaws are governed by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Some rules are worded so strongly they're more like sports law. Implement or you can't play. The rules that aren't required, athletic directors told Local 12 Investigates, amount to nothing more than guidelines. And guidelines don't have to be changed. Not at the Korey Stringer Institute, which was founded following Stringer's death from heat stroke.
We update our policies every 6 months.
In 2017, KSI began reviewing state associations' policies based on a rubric or formula created from best practices across the industry. That rubric was backed by the National Federation of High School Sport Associations.
We call the 4 H's, so head, heart, heat, and heme.
That's because 90% of all death in sport occur under one of those 4 conditions, according to KSI. The rubric also includes emergency preparedness and medical coverage. Each category can receive up to 20 points. Ohio's score is a 43.93 out of 100, which places them 40th out of 51 high school sport associations.
Whenever we're ranked, we want to be the leader, and our goal is always to be at the top. 40 is not impressive by any means.
Stu Wilson is a retired school athletic trainer and a member of the OHSAA's Joint Advisory Committee on Sports Medicine, often referred to as SMAC. The SMAC is comprised of physicians and athletic trainers who assist the OHSAA with policies that protect athletes.
We've been doing this for 62 years. We have the oldest and longest serving sports medicine committee.
Moore does not agree with KSI's assessment.
We did not agree, and that's fine. We don't have to agree with them, and they're not our masters.
Ohio wasn't assigned points to many of its policies because they are recommended.
They have to be required for us to give credit to a state. They can't be just recommended, because recommended is not enough of a threshold for us to assure that athletes are going to be safe.
In Ohio, cold tubs are not required on the sidelines of a warm weather practice. The state's heat section scored a 5.125 out of 20 points. Wilson said in a SMAC committee meeting, the heat policy was addressed.
One of the questions is, what do we need to do to adjust this? And I kind of spoke up and said, I think it's real simple. We have to change recommended to required.
KSI said in a summary that if Ohio improved its exertional heat stroke policy, it would jump to number 11 in the rankings. KSI is the only organization that reviews every state's sport association policies. After the first release of rankings, the NFHS issued an 8-page memo condemning KSI. Unfortunately, the Korey Stringer Institute has proclaimed itself as judge and jury of heat illness prevention and other safety issues by ranking the 51 NFHS member state high school associations.
We never like to compare one state to another, so even though the rankings represent where the states are scored, we really want to look at the state as an individual basis.
Whether they want to consider that a ranking or not, we are not going to consider them at all.
Now, representatives from the Korey Stringer Institute were supposed to meet with stakeholders, including some members of the OHSAA's SMAC, in May. That meeting was canceled due to the shutdown orders and has not been rescheduled. If you'd like to learn more about the sports safety policies and watch all 60 stories of our project, head to athletesatrisk.com.